Okay, I must say good morning. Again, this is Charmaine. Um, I woke up 4 o'clock this morning, and I got a message from. I mean, I think it's from God because it just come to my mind to tell you all. But I did not. I went back to sleep, and then I woke up again. Um, 4:30 or 4:29 with another message. Um, I should have gotten up to 4 o'clock because I had a feeling God wanted me to tell you all, but I was lazy and I went back to sleep. I doubt myself. But then I woke up 4:29 and okay, I got another message. Okay, the message is my ministry starts. Um, my okay, I wish I wish I wish I when he tells me, I do it right away and write it down or something. All right, because I doubt myself. I got up and I doubt myself. But like I know most of us know when God's talking to us because we hear it in our spirit, we feel it, you know, but we doubt it because we are like, um, is it real? But the only way I, I believe he's the only one could say your ministry starts. All right, and he wants me to talk. All right. I don't know why, because maybe the time is so close and what he have me to say, he wants me to say it. All right. And okay, so I don't know what he wants me to say, but he wants me to be on the air. All right. Okay. So, um, okay. So, this morning at 4 o'clock, when I woke up, he told me in my something about something about uh, it was so vivid when I woke up, but it just I didn't write it down or anything. I didn't know that I was going to wake up. I had a feeling that I was supposed to come in the air, but I wasn't sure. And now it's hard to remember what it is he said. Okay, but I'm not lying. I'm still going through depression, so I have no reason to lie. I just didn't know that he was going to tell me. I mean, I had a sense, but I didn't know I would wake up again 4:30, 4:29, and with those words, your ministry starts. And my ministry, I would have to name it if I always promise people. I work as customer service. I would just give my testimony, and God will guide. When I give my testimony, He talks to me. He talks to me. So I'll just do like I do with one-on-one speaking to people because that's what I notice. Whenever I talk, He talks to me. It must be that He opened my ear. Okay. Um. Okay. I was about to say something. Um. Okay. This morning, 4:29, it was something about Daniel, the book of Daniel. Um how in the end time knowledge, in the end time knowledge will increase. It was something about that, and he in the end time knowledge will increase, and it is happening. Many people will not believe it because they are like this. We always know that we would have increased knowledge, but why think about it? For hundreds of years, it didn't happen. Only when God, what is only the the description is in the end times. Why wouldn't it happen in the Middle Ages? Why we didn't get these computers in the Middle Ages or in the beginning of time or in the middle of the beginning and the middle of times or in the no, when God says something, it happens. That's how you know He's real. That's how you know we did not come from apes, so we are not descendants of 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 um of horses or something. We are human beings created from the dust, just as He said. Okay? Yes, we made our ancestors made mistakes, and that's why we are not walking with God as He wants us to. That's why we are descendants of God. We are made in His image. We are very special. Okay, we are special, and that's why the fallen angel that had pride in his heart and thought he could be above God and want to be worshipped, that's why he was thrown out of heaven. Because pride is not of God, it's not holy. Even if we are prideful, we are not very smart. For example, oh, I know everything. Okay, no, it's not true. So he is not smart. It's not true. We don't know everything. None of us do. Every day we learn something new. Um, so my ministry starts, and would I have to wake up? I mean, just go. I don't know, but chances are this is what he wants, and I prefer to be used by God. I know we're close to the end, and if he wants to use me, and this is what his purpose was all these years, I am happy to be his vessel. I am happy to be his child and be obedient to him. And um, he he invested a lot in me, in the sense that, I mean, I saw a lady came and she put a white a white cloth over my head and whisper in my ear so many years ago, maybe 14 years ago, or no, maybe I can't remember exactly how long ago, but it was a long time ago. And since I have been talking about God and Jesus since I got baptized. Before I got baptized, I used to talk about God. As I was a Catholic, and all I used to do, we were very poor in Trinidad, and all I used to go on a Sunday morning, walk to church. It was a distance, but I love going. I don't know why, but I love God. Before I knew Jesus, I loved God. And I didn't know, but all I knew is I pray to Him after I pray. And I love God. That's all I knew as a child. I used to tell my mom I want to be a nun. That's how much I love God. I, I didn't know that He was going to use me like that, but I also used to tell my one of my brothers that one of us going to be a pastor. We're going to be used by God, but I didn't know it was me. I thought it was him. Because like you see your brother and you see him. Um, that's one of my brothers. I saw him. Um, persuasive. Like I'm not persuasive, but he's like strong, and I was like, you could be a pastor. Uh, God is. I don't know why I said God is going to use one of us. One of us got to work for Him. But I didn't know it was me. I didn't know. If when he hears this video, he would remember that when I said one of us. I mean, you can be a pastor. I think I didn't know it was me. And then, until when I was working in the courthouse in Fort Lauderdale, all my friends, I mean, people who are close to me knew that I resigned from the job in Fort Lauderdale, um, from Fort Lauderdale, the courthouse in Fort Lauderdale, because I heard God's voice that said you could be a pastor. Um, I was sitting by my desk working. It was around 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And I know I heard God's voice in dreams, and my friends know because at that time I used to talk everything that happened to me. I would share it with anyone. All right, but it's on one, not like now I'm sharing it with anyone in the world. I mean, worldwide. I'm talking to an audience. But at that time, it was just one on one. If I meet somebody in the elevator, or, working together with them, or training them, or, you know, one time I was training a lady and she said, "Do you think you are my mother?" I was like, "No." She's like, uh, um, all right. So don't tell me anything about God and everything and like that. And I was like, okay. And that woke me up because that lady was much older. She was like, at that time, she was like, she could have been my grandmother. And I was telling her and, testimonies and stuff. And I kind of learned that I can't, I, I can't be a mother to everybody, but because a mother tells the child, "Hey, do this, do it." I mean, give them advice like without, you know, but so over the years, well, not I, a few years now, I have been giving myself correction with a little spoon, with no pain. People would laugh at me, but it works. Stop talking too much. Stop talking too much. Um, Stop thinking you're the mother of other people. Stop thinking you're the mother of other people. I give myself pop out for that. I give myself pop out for um, I recently, and my mom lived with me not too long ago, and during conversation she got mad with me many times, and when she left, or we didn't leave in good terms. This is why I know for sure the correction with the rod works. I You see what happening to me? God is letting me talk with my experiences. So it's not like I have to remember anything. It's just right there. So I can say it, what happened. So the testimony, it works. The idea that the correction with the rod works. The little spoon, no pain. How could that happen? How? Okay, let me just continue. Um, so my mom, there was times that I was like, I did not know I had that in my veins. I did not know that I had um, being bossy in my veins. I give myself pop out for being a bully because I didn't know that, but after the reaction, I realized that's what I was doing. I was being a bully, and I give myself pop out on each hand, 3 on 3, and or 4 on 4, or 5 on 5. I give myself, and it worked because I improved. I did improve. I improved so much that when I'm a customer service representative, and I can tell the way I speak to people, I can tell I have more patience listening to what they're saying, and when I give myself the pop out for being a bully, at that time, for sure, I realized I was different than the telephone. Okay, so it works. Anybody wants to try it, please try it. We are born in iniquity. Okay, and our clothes has to be white. We cannot go into heaven being a bully. All right, we cannot go into heaven. I don't know how it's going to work. Yes, we could ask forgiveness and God will clean us up. But what about if we are being a bully when He's coming? We don't want to be left behind with those nasty iniquities because it's nasty. Because when, most of us, we treat others, we're supposed to treat others the way we want to be treated. And if we don't know we're doing something wrong and we're doing it and God comes, we still judge we're doing something wrong. We're hurting another human being. Whether we're aware of it or not aware of it, it's still wrong. All right? Being a bully is one of them. I would have never think that I was being a bully, but I was, and using it as an, for God. Being a bully for God, God does not want that. Okay? If someone tell you they don't want to hear it, okay, let it be. Do not be a bully, and at least you tried, which is good. But you don't. God does not force us to choose Him. Okay, you can try, which try now, but I I still have that in my veins. I still have a little bit of maybe bullying. I still have a little bit because maybe it's so much. I mean, God is cleaning me up. That's all I can say. I want to be you. Okay. I want to. I want to. I want to not to hurt anybody with my words. Okay, and I want to help people, not hurt them. All right. I know God is going to you. Oh, this is something what I think He was trying to say this morning at 4 o'clock. Well, now I know my ministry starts at 4 o'clock every morning because, or, or every other morning. I don't know how it is, but 4 o'clock is the time I will come on the air. I mean, I will start, I will try. It's hard, but if He woke me up this morning and say my ministry starts and we in the end of times, we have to do it. I have to do something. I've been lazy all these years and I can't be lazy anymore. He's coming and every bit of strength I have I can use for God, I have to use it. Okay? Um, and if I notice it was around the same time yes, the day before that he woke me up and I he wanted me to talk. Okay, so whether he is making that way and I have to go. I I'm surprised that he's going to use me that way. But he got to he his other children need information and some people are giving up. Some Christians are giving up. I didn't know God was going to use me and I'm not completely better yet. I am still sick. I still don't have energy, but at least I'm getting my enthusiasm back first. And once I get my enthusiasm, little by little, I'm getting my ambition and my this and everything back. I don't know how God is doing it. It's a battle. It's a battle to get my strength. I have to listen to when He says something and I have to do exactly what He says. It's all natural. And I will show, of course, on my website, charmainelisa.com, on the blog, it has how to get clean your home and everything. But my battle is a little harder because Satan really wants me to not to get rid. It's a battle because I have to sleep, and that's how um, I lose my gifts that I'm getting back. All right. Now, other people like if they try the treatment, it will work because most people are not like my mom used to say a long time ago. She used to say, well, she still kind of say it, um, like nobody is stronger than God, and um, something like that. And it's not like um, well, I forgot the exact words she used to say. So, all right. So back to being guided by God. I am, I am glad this is my first taping saying what he said. I feel he want me to, well, okay. It was just like your ministry starts. That's all I heard. Your ministry starts. And whatever he told me, I didn't remember except that your ministry starts. Because I knew that have to be from God. And we want to sleep. And I was about to go back to sleep, and I'm like, I can't go back to sleep. I just, he wants what he wants. Okay, I don't have on makeup. I look, and my hair isn't combed properly. I'm not. I just put a little jacket on and come on the air. I have to listen to when he says something. Okay, because all of us like to look nice, but when he wants me to talk. Okay, so back to let me talk the important thing. So the Papa works. Okay, um, I was talking about when I heard his voice in the courthouse. Yes, after I heard his voice in the courthouse, I resigned. At first I applied for to Southern Adventist University. I I got accepted, and I used to go to Broward College, and I was studying to be a journalist. Actually, I was really studying to write a book because I knew God. I saw God eyes in the sky. I saw this and so much testimony. I wanted to share it, and also the treatments. I wanted to share it in a book. But technology increased so much, and he wants me to go on. Yes, he wants me to write a book because many people would understand things better with a book. Okay, but some people will not be able to buy a book, but they can see my testimony on the air like this. Okay, God is real. I saw. Okay, let me tell you. I was. I'm going to tell you the testimonies about when I was going to the university in Tennessee. I was going to school regular, the university, and my funds, my retirement money, not retirement, the money that I got from 401k, it was running out, and I going through depression, having to buy things to do the treatment, and um not having energy, and um going to a new place and paying your bills, and um paying your rent, and what I'm not paying, yeah, paying your bills. Um, when I went to the university, I didn't have rent. All right, I didn't have rent. I had an apartment. I had gotten an apartment through the university, and I didn't have rent, but I had the car payment and the insurance, and the money keep coming out, um and stuff like that. So so my money was finishing, and hmm, my money was finishing, and I'm trying to remember if I had rent. I'm like, did I have rent? I don't remember having rent. But how was my money was finishing? All right. So, hmm, trying to remember if I, okay, so my money was finishing. So I went to work in Walmart, a part-time job in Walmart, and then this is what happened. Of course, I'll be working and talking. At that time, I used to talk a lot still. I didn't give myself papa yet. And so what happened is that one day I was sharing testimonies and stuff, and um, well, I used to work in the deli in Walmart in Tennessee, in Chattanooga, Tennessee. All right. But okay, let me go back to not Chattanooga, Tennessee, or Ottawa, Tennessee. All right. Let me go back to see, I didn't plan anything, so I just have to go by memory. And yeah, I don't have a script or anything. I just have to be obedient to God. He wants me to start talking. He wants me to start my ministry. So this is my first day of my ministry, and it will be called Charmaine Ministry. All right. If he said I could be a pastor, I don't know anything about how to baptize people and stuff. I didn't learn that in the university yet, So I only did 1 year of pastoral studies, only 1 year, about 1 year. Um, I so okay, so okay when I was in school regular, I was working part time in Broward College, not Broward College, in Walmart and in the deli, and I was talking and of course at that time talking a lot, not so much like before, but still a few things. And I was sharing that got my dreams. So there was a lady a little lady. She was like I think um she was a little bit racial. She was a little bit racial. I could sense it. Um and she was a little bit racial, and she was really really older, and I was making sandwiches and all that stuff and whatever, doing work, right? And I used to share my testimony. Not exactly when I was making sandwiches, but when I was doing anything, I was well, when I had conversation, but she overheard some of them. But there was a time, of course, I was sharing testimony, yeah, so I don't know what I was, but testimony. But there was a time that I shared a testimony that I had a dream. And that the night before I had a dream, and of course, you go into school. I didn't have any family around to tell the dream to, so I was telling my friends. And I told them that I dreamt I was in a big job, a big building, a job. Then I knew I was going to another job, but it's a bigger building. All right, it's a really big building, and I dreamt I was walking there, going there. So I dreamt I left one job and walked to the other job, and it was a real huge building. And I went into the job, and my job in the job was to like Kong stuff on something Kong stuff. I told my friends I wasn't sitting on a chair, but I was counting stuff. I was doing something like clerical, but yeah, that's what I was doing. I was like, yeah, but I wasn't sitting behind a desk. In the dream, I wasn't sitting behind a desk, but I was doing stuff clerically, like counting stuff. Now, the next week, actually, it was just like 1 or 2 days or 3 days after. Hmm, it's good to write things down, but I didn't. All right, I don't think I did. It's probably somewhere there. Okay, so the next week or a few days after, I had an interview. Of course, I had an interview. I'm trying to get a full-time job because the bills are piling up. So I had an interview, and in the interview um in the interview it was with Amazon, and I in the interview I was shocked that actually I was shocked they called me for an interview, all right, because I applied and they called me like 2, 3 days after or something like that, a few days after. And in the interview, I got the job, And in the interview, they told me, I mean, I was completely shocked. What I dreamt is what I got. I dreamt I was counting. Yes, my job was to count the shelves. This is too strange. Now I go back to work and I'm telling my friends, I got the job, I got the job. Uh, the job is exactly what my dream said. So the lady who was a little bit racial, she heard me and she was, after that, she was so nice with me. She was so nice because she probably realized that God is talking. To actually hear somebody dream something a few days before it happened, it's amazing. So my supervisor, of course, you know how everybody talks to the divine, somehow the supervisor knew about it. So I resigned from the job. um, I asked to leave, and because I got another job, it's full time and stuff like that. So, um, my friends were like, "Wait, Charmaine, that mean everything you've been saying is try to be because you told us and it happened, you know?" Um, it was amazing, and that's just one of the dreams. Now, um, what happened also around that time? I I because of my income, because I get a sense that God wanted me to come out to the university. Um, because of my income, and I don't know how I sensed it, but um, I started looking for apartment because my money was running out. So I saw, and it was hard to get a job. So I felt something that to help me, and of course going through depression is so hard. It's like, oh, it was worse than it was bad. Um, so um, how I knew to come out of to come out of school, it was strange. But this is how I knew I was on the right track. Um, I I started to look for places to rent, and I I called a place and I went to see the place, and it was um a nice one bedroom apartment. And no, I didn't see the apartment that I was going to get. This is the main this is the this is the testimony. I did not see the apartment that I was going to get. The apartment I saw was behind that apartment I was going to get. So I saw the apartment in the back of the apartment I was going to get, because the apartment I was going to get, it was some people were still in there. So okay, so I dreamt. It was a few days after I dreamt. After I saw the apartment, I dreamt. One moment. Oh, yeah, I dreamt. Look how these dreams are going worldwide. So that it's not for me alone. God gave me these dreams. I dreamt. No lie, no lie. This is you could be shocked of this dream. I dreamt I was standing in the apartment and I was looking through the window. All right. It was like I looking through the apartment has stairs, and it has your own entrance. Your it's like a townhouse, and it has your own entrance, the stairs, and then of course the apartment on the second floor. And I was looking through I, I always wanted. I knew God gave me that apartment. Um, because He knew in my heart at that time. Right now, I'm not. I like a patio outside and stuff, but not as much as I did before, because I was like wishing I like that. Um, but so I dreamt I was looking through, like there was a fireside in the apartment, a fireside, and um, uh, there was a window, a big window, and I was looking through the window. And there was in the apartment, there was a sliding door, a glass sliding door to the patio, but I wasn't there. I was by a window. There's no window in the apartment, but in the dream, there was a window. And I was looking at through the window, and I saw a dove. I saw a dove. The dove was far away. See, my ministry, God ready to use me. The dove was far away, and the dove started to come. A white dove. It was started to come. Now, when it started to come, um, what I saw, it was the dove eyes enlarged and look at me, and I woke up. The dove eyes was like octagon. That's all I saw. The dove eyes just enlarged, and it looked at me. Well, it enlarged, and I woke up. So I knew that that I have to get the apartment. I was on the right track by leaving school because it was a big decision to leave school and go back to work. And I told my friends that I was going to leave school so I can write a book. I will work and write a book because I learned a lot in school already, and because of finances and um, so so when my financial aid officer or um, the financial aid person in the university was talking to me and told me that, Charmaine, why are you leaving school? You said you had a dream. No, you said you heard God's voice that said you can be a pastor, and why are you leaving? And I told him, I said, the reason I'm leaving because I told him about the dream that I saw the dove coming towards the apartment. Now I did not, the landlord of that complex did not show me the front apartment. How could my spirit be in the front apartment and looking through the window and see the dove coming? All right, the white dove. And the dove eyes open. And so happened my computer, it has like right now God is getting me ready, so I have another, like how I'm looking at the umbrella, and in the screen of the thing is an umbrella. If you want to look at it, this is, you can't see it because it's not showing, but I can see the way an umbrella opens, and you see that's how the dove eyes was. So if anybody know how a dove eyes is, please let me know. Because I didn't see a wrong eye. I saw an eye like an octagon. When I say so, the shape of an octagon. That's what I remember. The eye enlarged, the eye of the dove enlarged, and it become like an octagon. All right, and that's what I saw. So I knew God wanted me to leave school and go back to work, full-time work. Okay, um, so my nobody could have convinced me, even though they were like trying to, for me to stay in the apartment and stay in school. Um, and maybe probably take out some other loans and all that to get what God wanted me to, to get the education of being a pastor. Now, when I heard God's voice, I have to only now I realize that. If God say you are okay, He said you could be a pastor. When I heard his voice and it came towards me, and it came to my ear, and it was, you can be a pastor. His voice sounded like it was far away, but it was as if it was far away, but I heard it. It was audible voice. It wasn't a whisper. It wasn't a whisper. It was a voice. It was a voice that I got up and I was like, did somebody just say something? And I started looking around in the other cubicles, and there was no male anywhere there. All right. It was just one of my friends was working across on the computer, and I was working. We were doing the docket for the court because there was of course there was hearing, and we have to get the docket ready for the judge. All right. So okay. So and my friend told me, "Oh, Charmaine, God always hear what you say. He talks to you, so it. You probably go tell you that. Oh, she told me, God always talk to you, so." Because luckily I share my testimony. All right. So, um, okay. So this just come to my mind. When I share testimony with friends, it's different to when I share it with my family. I think when I shared it with my family, sometimes I act like a little bit of a bully, like because I care about them so much that I want them to understand. Um, so I don't know if anybody else feel that way. Sometimes when we care about our family so much, sometimes it look like we treat our family, we respect our family less than respect the people outside of our home, and that is not of God because we're supposed to respect our family. All right. So that's why, thank God, it's written, don't, you know, correct yourself so you wouldn't be corrected. And the rod of correction drive evil away from your child. So we are children. As adults, we are still children in the eyes of God. We are His. So if we want to go to heaven, and Jesus said we must be like little children to enter the kingdom of heaven. He didn't say might be like little children. He said we must. All right, because we have so much cleaning up to do. Okay, you can imagine we go to heaven and bullying somebody, we will be pelt out of heaven. You can imagine going to heaven and causing a problem or wanting your own way or being envious or greedy or something. Come on, we have to know what, we had to get ready. All right. Okay. And the laws of physics is if we're doing it and he comes, then or the laws of nature is if we're doing it and he comes, we are not clean. And you remember what Jesus said? If we have to, yeah. And another thing Jesus say, I'm going to finish this video now. And that's the end of this video for now. Um, the another thing he said, I just remembered it. I don't know, I forget it. He said we gotta be like little children, and he said that oh, this is what he said, and this is probably why I saw such a little bit of people on the narrow road. Now the devil doesn't want us to know that. You remember when Jesus said it would be like a camel to go through a needle hole to get to go to heaven? That gotta be the reason why. All right. So that means we really have to pay attention. We really have to take God seriously. We really have to study that Bible and take it in. And now that we know how to get rid of iniquity, bad habits, um, my two sons wouldn't be married. I mean, I'm being truthful. I wouldn't have been able to raise those two boys if um the papa didn't get rid of the iniquity. Um, when I give my sons papa, I mean correction, chastisement with a rod, not chastisement because it was easy papa. It's like easy, no pain, nothing, just obedience, right? Jesus said, don't spare the rod and spoil the child. When I did that with them, they were like, I love you, mommy. And I noticed another thing. When I give myself correction, like mommy and me angry, my mom and me angry, and I eventually as I can't, my I can't I can't function as I want to because I'm like, but I was right, but I this, but I that, and I always think I'm right or whatever. And I always find an excuse for how I talked or what I said, and she was wrong and I was right. After God, like he somehow I went and gave myself the papa. And once I did it, I would call my mom and be in peace again. It's so funny. It's really iniquity that is causing us to, it happened a few times with me. And only after I give myself the papa, the iniquity, I feel like free, like a load came off my shoulder and I feel so free. And I could, instead of saying I was right and she was wrong, I all of a sudden I'm like, let me call her. She must be worried about me. And I would be, Mom, I'm so sorry. I give myself papa for it. And before I couldn't do that. Before I give myself the papa, I couldn't do it. And another thing I noticed is that when I was growing my sons up and I give them the correction with the rod, easy papa, um, they would tell me, Mommy, I love you. They were like so nice. Um, it's like the correction really helps the child or yourself to be released of that iniquity. I don't know how. Something so easy. And it was right there in the Bible for years. So many years, and it was there. But just that we had to take God's words for real and have faith that it will work. In our church, a lot of people are not doing it with kids. And they think that they have to use a big stick or something. No, you can just use a little steel spoon and you do it. You don't even, you could be an atheist and do it. I was in the shelter and I showed a lady to do it in the women's shelter in Lancaster, in Pennsylvania, and I showed a lady how to do it. And her son was okay. After this, okay, her son was taking his sister's hand to bite it, and really, 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 really like disobedient and it's a little child on a this is a little child on a high chair doing that to his sister, biting her hand and hurting her, you know. Um, and the mom left her husband and came. I'm not sharing anybody names or anything. She left her husband and she was in the shelter, the women's shelter, and I was there. And we were having breakfast and stuff, of course, together, you know, different times. Um, and that's how her son was. And I was like, looking, I was letting her know that I grew my kids up with Papa, easy Papa, because I'm in the shelter now. So that's how I learned the easy Papa work. Before I thought it had to get a little sting, but it didn't. I used to use a pot spoon with a little sting on it, but it didn't. You don't have to do no sting. You just have to hit with a rod. And you knock it on heaven door. I don't know. It's a miracle. Only way you would know is if you try it. Try it with your family members. When I say so, when you say you treat them bad or you didn't know you treat them bad, just in case it's not of God, see if it's not of God. If it's not of God, you wouldn't do it no more because God will get rid of it once you give yourself the correction. Okay, so we all have a lot of it to correct, so we might have to do it a few times, but usually it's, yeah, yeah. So, okay, back to the lady. She after she realized that it could help her son because her son from the time she did it or I did it for her, she saw her son completely changed. He was really, there was a big change. And after that she left and went. I think she probably realized that she can live together with her husband because sometimes wives leave their husbands because the husbands are rough with their children and they run away because they don't want their husband to be rough. So if she can control her child and her child could listen to her and so her husband would not, so somehow the lady left the next day. She wasn't there no more. And the miracle happened. The child was different. The child was nicer. He wasn't, right away it happens, right away. It looked like the iniquity just be on the child. And as soon as you correct the child the right way, not with a belt, not with screaming, not with the putting the child's spirit down, calling the child stupid. No, it's an iniquity that they got from their ancestors. All right, it's evil that because of Adam and Eve eat the apple, it went into the bloodstream of the human race. All right, and all of us have some different type of iniquity. You could have a twin, but the twin has two different type of fault. One talk too much, one talk a little bit. One be selfish, one be free. One, we have it. We have it, and we have to correct it so that. And of course, the major correction we all have to make is we have to correct ourselves to be grateful because we have to um, we have to because gratefulness will is like this something said gratefulness is next to godliness or cleanliness is next to godliness. Well, being grateful, if you see your child not being grateful for things, you have to correct your child. And if you see you ungrateful and you know that's a problem, that's an iniquity that you have, you gotta correct yourself. You gotta be around family members to see it, though, or around if you because sometimes the evil only shows up when you're supposed to when you're around people, then it shows up because you interacting and you can see that you can see if you hurt somebody by being ungrateful or something. Okay, so all right. Um, and if we don't correct our, because it's important, we gotta get rid of that. All right. I know I probably didn't discipline my kids. I did try my best because of the depression. Um, I probably did. I missed some things, So, um, my smaller son probably still need a little bit of pop off for that, to be grateful because it. Once you give yourself child pop off for being grateful, they would be grateful to God. All right. They will be grateful for where they came from. They will be grateful for um, when they get to, as they become adults and they know about God and stuff, they will be grateful for God creating us. And we got to find a way back to God and to walk close to Him and not have pride and um, all about us and how we look. Where everything about us, we had to benefit and we have to. No, we have to get ready for heaven. I hope we get to go. I hope I get to go too. All right. I love you all. And until tomorrow, I don't know if I will feel to do it tomorrow, but I know that He wants me, my ministry starts. Because that's what I heard I don't know how I heard that. And I couldn't go back and sleep, and my mind's like, oh boy. All right. So thank you again for listening. I know everybody's sharing on YouTube, and I wouldn't have done this a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because he's doing something. Something's happening. All right. He doesn't tell me everything. All I know is I woke up 4 o'clock. I woke up 4 o'clock, and I had a message. I like he told me something good, and then I forgot it, and I was like lazy to get up and to write it down or something. And then I woke up 4 to 29 around that time, and then he wanted me to talk again. He was like, and then I trying to brush it off and trying to go back to sleep and everything, and thinking I'll wake up 5 o'clock and start my day. But he went, and then I heard your ministry starts. All right, so okay, and the only thing I mean, I am not special. I'm just regular. But if God wants to use me to share testimonies, I have no choice. Not that I have no choice. I do have a choice, but I want to do whatever He wants me to do. All right. I love you all, guys, and thank God for the microphone because my voice sounds a little bit louder. But my voice is very low, and I didn't know God could use me like this. But He is God. He gave us technology. Oh, I remember something. It was something about this morning when he talked. It was something about how we have cameras, how he does have he watches everything. If we could have this camera and videotape everything, he could have a camera. He does have everything. He records everything. So when people, saying that, oh, I used to go to jail, he could show you where you went wrong and what mistakes you made. And that, of course, it would be too late then. A lot of people be like, I don't, yeah, something, he was trying to tell me something this morning. And it's just that, I missed that. So if I do get any more information, I would share it. All right. I love you all, guys, and thank you so much for listening. And we all on the same boat. We know the rapture going to happen soon. And He's getting us ready. All right. And that's all I can say for now. He's getting us ready. But it's up to us if we want to pay attention. A lot of people are like, they're too busy. Just like Jesus said, they're too busy. They're doing everything else except getting ready for eternity. It's like they're too busy to pack for their vacation and they don't know where they're going on their vacation. And they have to go because once God Jesus come, once the rapture take place, the tribulation starts or the tribulation happens, and then it will be the worst the world I've ever seen. Those people who are dreaming stuff on YouTube, I mean, who are sharing information on YouTube, when I get the strength, I will put it together. I'll, you know, explain what I saw because I saw so many different videos while I sitting on the couch, just twinkling my fingers on my phone. That's because that's all I could do. I have video camera tape that's all I can do. I was so depressed and I'm still going through it, but now I'm doing a little bit something for God at least, besides twinkling my fingers and looking at the phone and looking at other people YouTube channels with them telling you about the dream they had or something, and it's people not getting paid for it or nothing, so that means that like I'm not getting paid for what I'm doing. It is God wants us to get ready and share the testimony, share the dream, because the the dream we would have, it's explaining what, like some people, Jesus carried them into hell and let them see what the reason and how he can help them once they come out of this world. And some people dreams, they died and they came back, died and their body was still on earth, so God could still bring them back. So when they call out to God, their body was on earth on the operating table or something, so when they call out to God, God could bring their spirit back. But once we go under the ground and our body decompose and all that, we are gone. Our test is finished. The paper is wrapped up. Everything, the answer is either you filthy or not filthy. Either are you going to heaven or hell? Once we go, once we come out of this world, and nobody knows how we're going to come out. All right. So all the busyness everybody have, just look at the YouTube channels that the other YouTubers showing like the two preachers. I look at those videos a lot. They have videos all over the world. The water is carrying away the cars. The raindrops is heavier now. The water is hitting the earth and filling up places and carrying away the cars and houses and buildings, and also you see those big holes. I mean, 20, 30 years ago we saw that we would have been rushing to church, but because evil has filtrated the earth so much right now, just what the Bible said, just what they was prophesied by 2,000 years ago, that evil will be good and good is evil in people's eyes. Um, People are not thinking evil is evil. 30 years ago, people would have seen a big hole like that and say, "Oh, I'm going to church." It had to be something happening underneath the earth. All right, something is happening. The earth is splitting apart. It's making big holes. Something is going on. So look at those videos. They have a lot of videos in there, Pakistan, all different places. North Carolina, different places. Places are being destroyed. So pay attention. The earth, the earth is being destroyed. Jesus is coming. Remember when Jesus said that it would be like a woman under birth pains or travel? Yeah. When when he come in, it intensifies. All right. Maybe he just intensify and now it's just a cooling time and he going to just come. Who knows if he's going to come tomorrow? But recently it's all over the world just started getting hit. Right now I didn't see anything on YouTube, anything close recent, except the one thing I saw is that the 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 volcano in the western states of America, they're saying that it's moving and all that stuff. Something is happening. Why God would wake me up 4 o'clock in the morning to come on the air? I mean, to videotape this, it's something is happening. We are closer than we think. And people will be given in marriage, marrying, busy. Oh, I have no time to look at that. That's too sad. I don't want to see that. Jesus is coming. All right. If we don't open the book, how we would know what is in the book? And never but judge the book by the cover. Never say, I know what is in there. People could say what they saw in there or something, but you got to see it with your own eyes. Your whole eternity, you have to live with that for the rest of your eternity, with the idea, did I get it right? Did I see it for myself? Now, if you didn't get it right, you would be tormented with, I wish I did. I wish I did read it. I wish it was there. People could listen to the Bible on their phone. They could listen to it. They don't have to read it. They could listen to it. All right. They can listen to it in Bible Gateway. They can listen for free. They can listen to the Bible. I like to listen to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John when Jesus was talking, because of course that's God talking on the earth. All right. So he come as a man just to save us, to die on that cross. So he was dying on that cross and suffering just for us. Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, three spirits, one God. Okay, so okay, I'll stop the video now. I have something else to say. As I said, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Okay, I'll say it. This time is. I just hope you all don't think it's so long, but because I'm just as I hear things or I think of things, I'm saying it. All right. Um, the next the next thing I saw God eyes in the sky. I know you all probably heard the video before. His eyes was red and he was high up in. Of course, I saw his eyes. He was looking down like this, and I only saw his eyes, and he was looking down like this, and I saw where our black in our eyes is. His was red like blood or fire. I wasn't sure because in the dream I knew, but I forgot along the years. It was like 20 years ago I dreamt that. Okay. So, and then I heard a very nice gentleman voice, don't ask nobody for help, I'll help you. So that's why my treatment is all natural. And it's not it's natural. So he is guiding me how to, because it's a battle. It's like, and my weakness is sleep, and this is how they hurt me. I lose my gifts back. I mean, all right, it's a battle, and all right, and God allow it because He has His plan. Okay, so then the something I was going to tell you, and he wanted me to do another video or continue saying it. Okay, I'll stop the video for now because um, it's not coming back to my memory what I thought of just now to tell you. Oh, I now remember. Okay, so I saw God eyes. I saw Jesus eyes. Oh, I didn't let you all know how I saw Jesus eyes. All right, this is a great dream I had. This was a few years ago too. I was in a restaurant. The people that hurt me, you know, um, jealousy is something else. Um, I got better from my ex. You remember I told you that I was in New York and there was a guy I was um whatever, one of my so-called husbands. Well, I shouldn't say that, but he was one of my husbands. God accepted it. When we prayed, God accepted it, and he was one of my husbands. Because whatever. But we be together before we got married, so we could have gotten divorced. And when I share the testimony how we got a divorce, you would be like shocked the way we got a divorce. All right. Um, it was simple. It was dealing with money because I owed him money and he wanted his money back. And I was like, write a divorce. I don't want to stay with. I want us just. He probably didn't realize when he signed his name, we were divorced. I jumped out the van. I went with him to pick up stuff in Manhattan. This is New York, and he went to buy things for the store, and I went with him, and I'm like, we talked and everything, nice, and I was like, He said, when are you going to give me back the money? I was like, okay, I'll give you back it, but you have to write a divorce. I want you to write that. And he was like, um, but, um, I was like, but you want your money back, right? And I'm your wife, and if you want, just sign it. And he's like, okay, or he got mad, and he said, okay, 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 okay. And I was like, so he got angry, and he said, give me, all right, I'll do it. So I teared off a piece of my book or something from my bag, my handbag, like one of those, just a piece of paper from one of the something, and he wrote, I divorce you, Lisa, right? And once he devoted, my second name is Lisa, of course, right? I can't remember if he wrote, I let tell him Charmaine or Lisa, but I said, I divorce you, and he wrote it. Once he wrote it, I came out of the van. Life is funny, huh? Only when you experience it, then you know for sure. I came out the van and I jump out to come out because it's of course a high van. So when I came out, I felt like a load left my shoulder, and I walked away and I ran upstairs because I was living on the fourth floor of an apartment. So I had to go up and I felt like a feather. I felt so light. And after that, I stopped calling them. I actually stopped calling him. I actually felt like I was free. I didn't love him anymore or anything. So, and that's the guy who hurt me. Because after I didn't love him no more, he was like, that's what happens to people. They don't realize marriage is so nice that and a lot of men, they treat their wives bad, or they be late or be not not there for her, or he was there for me, but he wasn't okay. He wasn't punctual, and he wasn't det- you know he wasn't the way a husband should be, um and we weren't living together or anything, and we were married, so I was glad that we wasn't, but we did be together before, so we could have got divorced. So according to what Jesus say the man must give the woman a written divorce. So I just asked for it. I'm lucky I had money for him at that time. So that was it. That's the testimony of that. So okay. So that's why I tell you I had three husbands. And only God knows I had three husbands. One of them I was married to. Well, I had three husbands. This is what it had to be Jesus. Who else would tell me that in my dreams? That's how Jesus talked. If you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that's when he was talking to the lady. He said, you had seven husbands. Or I had, in the dream, I heard you had three husbands. One of them you're married twice to, and one of them you're still married to. All right. Um, so, all right. So, yeah. So what else he wants me to tell you? All right, so that's it. That's it about that. All right. Remember, I have to write a book. If God give me the chance. If he doesn't come by then, I'll write a book. Because then it will be more easier. I never wrote a book before. It might be really hard, but still. Where there's a will, there's a way, my mom used to say all the time. Um, Something else I saw Jesus' eyes. This is what I had to tell you. All right. I was in the dream, I was by a table, and my friends who I didn't trust, well, I still consider my friends. I still wish them all the best. I would preach to them still. Um, Even though I see them in dreams trying to hurt me and stuff. All right. Um, so in this dream, they put some food on the table, and I was about to eat. Now, I don't trust people to eat from because of I get sick, right? So I have to cook for myself and I don't get sick. But and go, whatever. And so they put some food on the table. This is a dream for me to eat. And looked like God didn't want me to eat. So what happened in the dream is that I saw a Caucasian guy pass in the back of the restaurant. But you ever see the restaurant has two entrance? One is okay, in the back of the entrance. This is where we sit and eat, where people sit and eat. Then there's a back, and I saw a Caucasian guy pass, and he looked at me, and when he looked at me, his eyes was blue like the ocean, and I woke up. And that's how I knew I saw Jesus' eyes. Because I didn't see his face. All I knew is he's Caucasian. And this is the first time and the only time I saw his eyes blue like the ocean. So, all right. So that's what I have to share with you. Um, Jesus' eyes is blue like the ocean. And he's not Indian, he's not Bronx. Well, what I always see when I knew he was Caucasian. Because when I dreamt he was under the earth, twice he was under the earth, and he saved me from, well, he was Caucasian. So the Jews are Caucasian. Most of them are. Some of them are like dark skin, and some of them, yeah. But the main thing is, doesn't matter the skin color we are. Doesn't matter the hair we have, nothing. It's because of the weather and because of the sun and where people went when the ark settled and people got change their tongues and everything and they went to different places. That's why we have a different color and we have a different hair because years ago somebody told me about your hair when you go down to Africa and the sun is hitting and all the clouds was down, oh, the water was down here, so it had no protection. Their hair went back into their head and it got stronger, but it got curly. All right. And the same thing is like you see something, it will be, it got like kinky. Like if you put something in the sun, it gets kind of all right. The same thing when you in the north, it was cold and it didn't get kinky. It got people who went north and their hair get thinner and of course it was straight. All right. And our skins, somebody told me and I asked them, why did you write a book about it? This was like 22 years, 21 years ago, 20 years ago. This was New York. He told me, a pastor, Seventh-day Adventist pastor, Spanish pastor. He told me, no, he's too busy ministering to the young folks to write a book. He was too busy. I said, can I tell people about it? What you tell me? He's like, yeah, sure. All right. And so he said that the reason people eyes, like people who are walking east after they try to build a tower and go change their tongues. When they try to walk east, all who could speak the same language start walking a certain place. Everybody went to a different place. So the ones who went east, with the sun hitting them, their eyes got smaller. So at that time, when all the water was in the earth and the sun was affecting more and the coldness was affecting more. So it did something to us human beings, all right? So it separated the three brothers, the three major races, white, black, and I think Caucasian, right? White, black, and Caucasian. The whole world is mixed with those three major races. The white, they suspect, he told me that. He kind of give me an idea. He said the white is, I think, the descendant of Sikh, one of Noah's sons. The blacks is descendants of Ham, and one of the descendants of, I think Japhet is the descendants of the Chinese, or Japhet is the descendants of the Chinese. All right, so because one go east, one go north, one go west. I mean, no, one go south, one go north, one go east. So the Chinese eyes got smaller. Because the sun was hitting. I don't know. Only God knows. But we are. If you notice, our attitudes, our ways are so similar. Doesn't matter the race. Is so similar. All right. He also mentioned about our our accent. If you read Genesis, you would see that God created heaven and earth and all that stuff. But something about Genesis. Remember when? Yeah, he did mention something about Genesis. About about God speak. God speak right into the dead and speak and let things happen. So if God we are made and He spoke, He breathed air into us. Okay, some of my and I am thinking I thought of this. I haven't think of this for a long time, so just have to wake up my memory there. So something about He breathed air into us, and we have the breath of life in us, and when we are born into the earth, wherever we are born, our voice, we get our voice from the height of the, the land to the sky. We get our voice that way. If we were born in my son voice is different. Everybody, like he born in New York. What my small son born in New York, his voice is different. Like people born in New York is different to Kentucky. People born in New York is different to even Florida. It's the different places, the land to the sky, their voices. All right, because the baby screams. That's well, that's a little bit of explanation. The baby screams, and that's how they get their voice. In Trinidad, somebody could be born in Trinidad, in the southern Trinidad, like San Fernando, and somebody could be born um, in the in the city, which is like Port of Spain. I was born in Port of Spain, but and somebody born in Trinidad from San Fernando. For some reason, the countryside, their voices has a different dialect compared to Port of Spain. You can tell, a little bit, just a little bit. All right. So like all the Caribbean islands, you can tell a voice from a Jamaican voice to a Guyanese voice. All right. And why? Because of the sky to the earth. It must be true. His song so because I mean, to me, yeah, it sounds really true. And our voices and we get our languages are from God. We could love, like, I know this is waking up people by saying this. I know it's right under our noses, but now it's time to remind each other that God is real. All right. So, um, our language. Think about this. Who could have been a mastermind behind this? To put Spanish información and in English information. The only difference between the two words is the C and the T. Who could have done that? Who could have planned that? Uh, many words that the Spanish has, the French has, and the English has is so similar, but just one letter spelled different. So only God could do that. All right. And I'm sure in the Indian languages, in the Asian languages, in the Chinese languages, in the, of course, Asian and Arab and all those countries, the languages is similar somehow too. I don't have the proof because I only know about the French, I think Italian, English. Who could have done that? That's to tell you we have a God and He loves us and He doesn't want us to go to hell. All right. And if we know for sure there's a hell and a heaven, and we are in the brink of time that we're going somewhere, we will plan for our vacation. It's not a vacation, it's a lifetime. It's eternity we're going into. And I wrote something down. You see, God have His plans for me to share all these information to you. Um, a few years ago, I mean, no. A few days ago, sorry, so I shouldn't say yes. A few days ago, I wrote something down. I haven't put it on my website or anything yet because of strength and time. Um, it says something about, it's amazing. My memory is just um, it says about our time on earth, our lifetime on earth. It's only like less than a drop in a bucket, much less than a drop in the bucket of eternity. Um, so this life is like the Bible says, it's like a vapor. It's so fast. We're not here forever. Either we find our way to heaven, or I mean we find the truth and live the truth and share the truth, not just care about yourself but care about others and get to go to heaven, you know. Okay, I love you all guys, and I'll share, and thank you for listening, and I hope God blesses all of us to get ready. All right. Okay, thank you again and have a great day. Goodbye.